I'm Coins, and this is the Week 5 preview here on the Final Cut. Stage 1 playoffs are this weekend. This is going to get super exciting. 7 teams can still make it to the playoffs. Of course, Stage 1 playoffs is the fight of the top 3 teams. The winner will get $100,000. Whoever gets second place will get $25,000. All takes place on Saturday after the 3 scheduled games. This is going to be an insane week because, like I said before, 7 teams still have the chance of making it. Let's get into it because I don't want to sit here explaining every single possible situation to you. I'm going to end up doing so. I know it. But let's just take a look at my games to watch this week. It all involves playoff contenders. So those 5 and 3 teams, they're all going to want to win 2 games this week. They're going to want to win both of their games because I just don't see the only chance of one getting in that only won 1 game is if Seoul loses both of their games. And as you can see, their second game is against a poor San Francisco Shock team that I think is a guaranteed win pretty much. So both these 5 and 3 teams should plan to win 2 games. Seoul needs, if they win 2 games, they're in. No matter what, they're in. If London or New York wins 1 game, they're in. They only need to win 1. The first game for Seoul is versus LA, and this is going to be their game of the week. Also going to be LA's game of the week. If LA wins that, it increases the chances for the 5 and 3 teams so much. If Seoul wins it, it decreases the chance for the 5 and 3 teams so much. Watch this game. It has such a huge impact on the playoffs. Next, we got Fusion versus Boston. Fusion at a -1 map differential right now, and they're in the worst position to possibly make it. They need to 4-0 Boston. That's pretty much it. Even a 3-2 win isn't good enough for Philadelphia at this point, I don't think. Boston, of course, has been on a super hot streak lately, and I think they'll 4-0 Philadelphia. London, Houston, Thursday night. This should be a very important one because London can, of course, still miss stage playoffs if they go 0-2, and they have 2 losable games this week. So let's talk about London and Seoul first because they've got the big games of the first part of the week on Wednesday and Thursday. Seoul plays LA, and I'll just get it out of the way early. I do think Seoul will win this. I think the only way LA can win is if Soon starts acting like Sabiel be and starts dueling the poor supports or the poor DPS players of Seoul. They're not, of course, that bad, but I think Soon is better than Bunny and Munchkin on Tracer, and if he starts just dueling those like Sabiel be did and out-dueling them, then it's very possible that LA can do what New York did to Seoul. I do think Seoul's going to win, though. I just think they're a better team. I think LA's been a lot more inconsistent as of late, and I just like Seoul to win it. So you might be asking, oh no, Seoul loses. What happens to our hopes and dreams, John? Well, guess what? London has the chance to miss the playoffs, and I think it's more likely. I think you're going to want to be rooting for the teams playing London this week. I think it is more likely that London misses than Seoul. London faces Houston first this week, and I like Houston in this matchup. I really do. I think Houston lucked out and got London on Oasis, the control map that is less Tracer heavy, and the control map that London has absolutely stunk at. I think that's going to be a huge map for Houston. And all Houston really needs is a control map because they are fantastic at hybrid and they are fantastic at payload. They're undefeated on Eichenwald still, and they have Eichenwald in this map pool. This should be a really good win for Houston. They don't have Junkertown, but they've been almost as great on Dorado as they have been on Junkertown. So I do have Houston winning this one 3-1. With Linkser back, they're going to have just a hot fire under their asses, and they're going to play their minds out this week. There's no doubt about it. I have Houston winning this super important game against London. Let's move to the second part of the week. I have Seoul versus San Francisco there, just in case San Francisco can be the fan favorites and do some insane upset. I do think Seoul's going to win that game easily, though. New York, London. That's a really exciting one. The first game this week for New York is against Florida, one they should win. So at this point, New York should be in the stage playoffs, but I'm sure New York is still really going to want to win this game. This is a game against the two top teams right now based on record. We don't know if they will be by the time we get here, but this is going to be a really insane game. And then, of course, Houston versus Boston. If New York does beat London and London is 0-2 this week, Houston versus Boston could be a de facto playoff to get into the playoff. So that game is going to be super, super exciting. And I'm actually going to get more into it. Who is more likely to make the top three, Houston or Boston? Who's going to win this matchup is one of the questions. But I think the first question we should ask is who's more likely just going into the week? Who has the better map differential? And that is Houston by far. I guess they're doubling Boston's map differential at 14 right now, whereas Boston has 7. So Houston comes in here with a better map differential than Seoul, only 3 behind New York and 4 behind London. So Houston has a super good chance of making it out of all the 5 and 3 teams, whereas Boston has the second best chance at +7. So these two teams are the two most likely out of the 5 and 3 teams, and this is going to be a super exciting matchup. The only issue for Boston is that they're facing Houston, and Houston's style exactly counters Boston. Boston got countered by Seoul and Dallas Fuel, who both playing the Orisa, McCree, Junkrat, Roadhog / Diva composition. And that is the composition Houston thrives on. Houston will use that composition. And not only do they thrive on it, it's their best composition. So Seoul just moved on to that composition just to counter Boston. They're not one of the best on it. Fuel, I don't know what Fuel's playstyle is at this point, but they still were able to keep it really close with Boston on that composition. And Houston is the king of that composition, and now they're going to be facing Boston. I think it's Houston going to win this one. Based off of all my predictions, there it is. That's what I think is going to happen. London is going to lose to Houston, and London is going to lose to New York in a very close one. Houston will overtake London in a tiebreaker based off map differential. We get to see that Houston-Seoul rematch right away with Lynxer, hopefully. The winner will face New York. Thank you guys for watching. Next week, the stage 1's going to be done. We're going to have a break, but I'm not going to take a break. I'm going to give you a recap of the week, of course, but I'm going to have a special Stage 1 awards show. So subscribe for that. Thank you guys for watching.